Good morning. It is a good morning. I have woken up. I'm awake. It's a new day. And as have you, if you're watching right now, that it is a good morning. Bringing that intention to my day. Good. Oh, so it was just something I needed to copy there. And good morning to Michaela, first in my list of chats. So chat comments and etc. So lovely to have you here. I'm going to move across to the cards that we have for the daily Lenormand card spread reading. And I'm Ros Boundy Psychic Medium bringing this to you. So if you're watching from replay, welcome as well. So being awake on a good morning, being awake is a good morning. But you might be awake the other time of the day too. Anyway, we're here. Tap into your connection with spirit in whatever way that means for you. So whether you just go by the gut feeling, whether it's something you label as intuition or psychic senses or whatever, spirit guides. I know that each and every one of you has your way of doing that connection, of using that connection, of being that connection. So let's move across to the cards. And here we go. I've got a few more this morning. For some reason, Spirit wanted me to actually bring forward just a few more. What we've got is 6 cards. It's one more. It is a few more. On a weekend, I usually only do use about 3 or 4. So we've actually got it's an interesting layout that they've chosen for it. And right in the middle, I was given the step of putting a charm in that center, in that, well, it wasn't a gap. It's just where it needed to be. Okay. So good morning to you too, Jazz. Lovely to have you here. And reminder that this is a general card spread reading. You're tapping in and helping yourself through this reading as well as you're moving through the steps. I've got the Owl card. Sometimes I put that in on a weekend, not always, but here we go with the card that we've got this morning. Being unique is better than being perfect. And I've always thought that the imperfections that we are is perfect, and we are unique. It's a gorgeous card, isn't it? I do like the owls. They are rather gorgeous. So we'll put that there and look a little more closely at these cards as the spread is. Now, what we've got too, this is from the deck called the Mystical Lenormand, and it is with the details there. It's regular Elizabeth Feichner, and it's painted by Urban Trosh. I don't know whether that's how it's actually pronounced, but we all know, just read it. Do a snapshot if you want to for future reference. If you want to purchase your own deck, just going to put that up and over there. So we are all the uniques rock, which means everybody rocks. Great. Now, I'm not 100% sure how Spirit wants me to read. I'm just getting from the top down. So as far as for our start of the day, we might be looking at that. Oh, good morning, Kim. Lovely to have you here. I hope you've rested after that unpacking, the moving, the unloading at least. Take your time with the unpacking. And good morning, Tiffany. It is a nice deck. I have accumulated, I've gathered, it's not called accumulation, it's of gathering together a wonderful set of cards, this being one of them. And yes, the longer that you follow what I do, you probably see at least, well, you might see all of them eventually. So at the start, what we have is the mice. At the tip, I'm still sort of thinking, no, I'm still getting start from the top and then move down. So this, to me, is the more obvious and the conscious, what we're more aware of at our brain level. And then as we're moving down, it feels that it's getting into that's a little bit more subliminal on this lower row as such. So we've got the mice in our top attention at the forefront. And then we've got the child and the ship. And that's sort of, this is the sort of thing that I'm feeling like we'd like to do today. It's that more aware of things that are, well, I suppose it's a bit on a wish list or or what you've already got planned for the day. And what we've got here is that's moving through the undercurrent, through that, it's happening, whether it's automatically or whether it's just something that is that need that is, underneath. It's almost like dwelling in the caves. I'm feeling caves through this lot. Why, I don't know. It's just what I'm being given, what comes to mind, what is coming through to the mind, which I trust is from spirit. So allow yourselves to bring in what you feel as the messages as you're watching this as well. Mine is only just but one interpretation of what I see and feel with these cards from what spirit's showing me. So here we go. The mice, as that obvious, that there is enough resources. I feel that the having that at the peak, at the top of mine, what I'm actually sensing with this one is a level of mistrust somewhere within your realm, your home space or your workspace today. That yes, there's plenty to do, there's plenty to eat, there's plenty, but it's that sneaking around. And I am just going to see if I can get in and zoom into each of these cards individually. We'll see how I'll go with that. So there we go. This is as close as I can get to each card using this method. So here we've got everyone really quite busy of these mice with their own, what they're doing. They're busy. They're munching on the cheese while it's there in its abundance. That's a huge wheel of cheese. So what we're doing at the peak of it is really, instead of mistrusting because someone else is grabbing more than you think they deserve, what I'm feeling in this is having attention to your own, what you are doing. And what is your intention? How are you putting out that? Are you willing to share this abundance and bring it to everyone in the family or the workspace or community, whichever way that you're sensing this and having it in your daily life? Or is it something that is it you want to grab as much as you can so that you can hog it all type of thing? I think there's a little bit of awareness, bringing to your attention the awareness of how are you dealing with your abundance. Certainly there can be, we know how mice work. They're in the dark. They are beyond our attention span because they're so small and we don't see them. And they seem to be like they're stealing our food in the pantry type of thing. And I think really in this essence, what we're shown with the way this is depicted is that we have enough to share. Sense, this beautiful natural grasses and the clovers and that here with the beautiful little blossoms. It's allowing us to be in our more natural state of sharing and the energy of what is community, and allowing, being more consciously aware that we are allowing each other to have their fill as well, because there is plenty. There is enough to do. There is enough to share. And I only just noticed that there is some little spider webs there. It's more the attention, there's an inattention to what is behind because it's been left undone, undusted, uncleaned. So I think maybe there is a little bit of a tweak there that you might be sensing as far as bringing the broom into it as well, just cleaning the space to allow more to enter type of thing, to actually have more of this shared around and about. Because as we notice, it is a very large wheel for only the 3 mice. So maybe it's an invitation in your day to, ask people in. Maybe it's time to have a party. But that's forefront in the mind in this one, in what's happening for your day. Now, we've got the 2 here that are, I just noticed how unaligned they are. This is the way they laid. It's what looked right for me on the table. But as you know, the perspectives change as this camera that I'm using is directly over the table where I'm sitting at an angle that shows up. I'm looking at it at an angle like this. So, of course, what we align, we have a different perspective around because of the way that we are located. So if there's something that you're needing to look at and change, it doesn't quite seem right, change your perspective, look at it from above, step back and be the witness of what is the true perspective of how things lay, if you get what I mean. I think you should do. I'm hoping I understand. I explained that all right. What we have here, though, is the children in the playground. Well, sort of children in the playground, and I've got to find where my I've got to look occasionally because my pointer is out of line with where I'm looking to find it in the camera without looking at it. And what we've got, the children and the ship. So interesting that in the centre of this, we actually have a windsurfer with this charm. I think it's cute. Cute that we've got that as a continuity of, to me, it just feels like play. When I was a child I was a teenager still, 13, 14, 15, 16, we had a little dinghy, a international cadet dinghy. It's a monohull, and you go out, you sail it with a crew. It's one that you do have a skipper and a crew. The best times. I really loved doing the sailing, even on those worst days, and the capsizing and all the rest that was involved with it. It was such a discipline teacher, taught discipline, taught so many skills as you were out there and you were playing. And it was racing. We did do races, and it was just so much fun. Here we've got the child in the tree, like swinging on the swing, on the tree, in the garden with the little fairies. Have a look at the little fairies. There's one flying in or swinging in, the smile on her face or his face, who knows what gender, it doesn't matter. The beautiful dog playing with them, the fairy there that's eating the strawberry. I'm so happy I've planted strawberries this time. I don't normally eat them, but we've got strawberries in the wicking bed. It's just so much in this beautiful natural environment of happiness, joy, playfulness. It just does remind me of my own childhood, youth, when Dad made us a swing, not from a tree. It was an actual made-up swing. It's just the play, moving through your day today, playing. Take whatever direction you need to, where the wind takes you, where that natural environment is, swinging you through, sailing you through. With this charm on a windsurfer, you have to have control of that vessel. It may be only one sail on a board, but it takes a lot to actually get that up and control it. But wow, once you've got that in hand, it's a beautiful feeling, that sailing through the breeze, skimming the top of the water. I had managed to do it a couple of times with my windsurfer. And when I saw I'm not sure how old he was, 3, I think, Simon, my youngest boy, I managed to get it up and head out. And I told everyone, I'm going to have a bit of a windsurf, try it on this, stay in. But he'd come and followed me out. And when I saw him starting to be in the water up to there, I had to go back. And that was the end of my windsurfing days. It actually blew away to the other side of the lake because it wasn't anchored properly on the shore, the whole thing. Someone else benefited from it. But and that was a lesson in managing and keeping control of what is a very portable item. And ourselves, we are the portable item moving through our day to day. So take control, but in that, have fun. And good evening, Liz. Lovely to have you here again. So lovely to see you. Scotland, wasn't it? I'm probably going to get it wrong again. No, that was Myra. Ontario? Oh, look, I'm never going to remember. Well, if I tell myself that, I won't ever remember. This is something for a sigil. If you saw, for those who were watching last night and sharing in time with me last night, I went through a bit of sigil creation. London. There you go. Thank you, Liz. So really, I'm just feeling the fun in this. It really is a let things go free but within your control. You still have to have control over it. Like the mice, we do need to consciously have that awareness. What are we doing? What are our intentions? And make sure that you're going to have some fun and playfulness with it today, whatever your goals are in what you're doing through the day today. Now, here we go with these three. I'm just going to move myself up and shrink myself. God, if only it was that easy to shrink yourself. Sorry. It's one of those things. Sometimes, every so often, I do hop on the bathroom scales. I did that this morning. So there you go. I don't need to say anything more, do I? So here, be good to shrink that quick on the scales too. So what we've got with here, and this is reminder, this is just what we're needing. What is that more subliminal, not as obvious to us, but still something that we've got going as an undercurrent, as under the the obvious type of thing, but it's going to happen. Things coming forward. We do have the dog here in our presence, and I do still feel Peanut's presence as I move around. Even though she's not here physically, she is in that spiritual sense. So there may be activities and things that you're doing through your day that brings to you the awareness of that unconditional love from your fur babies, from friends. Doesn't have to be the fur babies. It could be friends who love and support you and aren't always in your presence, aren't always around you, but are definitely there in their spiritual and energetic support sense, so that you're holding each other firmly in love as that unconditional love and availability whenever you're ready, whenever they are ready too, because they will always be ready for play, for whatever you need to be doing. This looks like a ball that the dog is ready to play with. It almost looks like a crystal ball because it certainly looks like a home that may be geared toward the esoteric, the magical in all senses. There's a pyramid, there's something else there, and I can't quite make that out. It looks like candles. So that fullness of being who you are in whatever you do in your life, with the others around and about you, we're not alone. It's showing us that we're not alone. We do have friends who love us dearly and are ready for all situations to journey with us, okay? At times we may feel like we're definitely out and alone by ourselves, nothing touching us. But look, we've got the ways that we can actually bring others in if needed. There, we've got the ship in our day today. We ourselves have that windsurfer that's going, the windsurfer is a thing. It's not just the person on it, but there's certainly ways and means that we can shift from this lone tower, feeling like we've been, and I'm feeling these words coming as feeling like we're under attack by prehistoric, ancient influences, almost like it's the ancestry we're holding onto as tradition or old teachings that we don't need to believe anymore. Any of that type of thing is going to free us if we so desire. It could also be that what you're really wanting is to be left alone, to have that protection of these pterodactyl type of creatures, that all of that is there to protect you, and that you have time to contemplate, to look more deeply into what you're feeling, because water is emotions and feelings too, and bringing that into your awareness slowly in those moments where it's needed. That could be why you may be feeling that you're needing that alone space, and at your will, when you need to and want to have people around you, you will. What we've got, and with this, the completion, I think, of that sort of communication, writing letters, maybe it is that is why there is this being alone and singular, is there is only one person that can write a letter. It really is that one-to-one communication, whether it is by handwritten or text or whatever. no one else can actually bring forward those words that you use in this type of, writing, that really it is from self. It's what you can express in that form from your inner self. And maybe that's another reason why there is this singular isolation, to be able to really feel into what is that you're trying to communicate to someone else on a one-to-one. I'm feeling that is why it is there next to the tower, that we're needing to have that type of, and let me get it back to the full view, having that type of isolation or feeling of choosing. And I do feel that this is choosing. Oh, I'm just moving myself back over there. And that's a little pile of charms I chose this one from. It brings it together, I think, as far as, having that readiness from someone who loves and cares for you as a close friend, family member, or something like that. It's whatever it is, whoever it is, or the being, as in it could be your spirit guides, or one of your fur babies, or bird, or anything. Who knows? What do you have as a close, loving connection to? Not a thing. Living, please, because that's the energy that it brings, is a living being that is loving and close to you, keeping in readiness for when we ourselves are ready to move from this position of the tower, and being able to move through and share in our communities, whether it's just at our family level, or whether it's the fuller community, town, country, in whatever way you're doing something today that's going to be sharing in that form, and writing about it. There is some level of writing in there for that. So there you go. And we've got Liz is saying hi, and that is, yes, from the London there. I've just seen that one too. I did see it earlier anyway. So hi, Diane, good morning. And from Shaz, good morning as well. So I got so into actually putting the message out there that I didn't really see, I wasn't taking any notice of the comments as they're coming up. But that's not the purpose of what we're here for with these spreads, the daily cards. It really is to get the guidance, in whatever way that you're gaining your guidance from spirit, or just looking and interpreting from your gut feeling is quite fine too, even if you don't feel like there's any spirit connection or otherwise with seeing a card spread or a rune set, or throwing stones. There's so many different tools and ways that we can gain guidance on that more metaphysical, esoteric style if we want. But sometimes we just know, as we look at something, what it actually means. If you start to see blood coming from your finger and you've got a knife in your hand and you're cutting vegetables, you probably realise already that, that's an instant, what you did. You cut your finger. What does that mean more on the metaphysical and esoteric, that sort of level? Well, that's up to you to find out, isn't it? It could be that you're just needing to shed some, like the blood leaching, bloodletting, all sorts of different things. I'm not going to read anything into that. That's just what came to my mind, so you can take that one as you need to. Look, have a lovely day. Those are the cards that we have for our guidance this morning from this LENORMAND deck. It's I was just going to say, it's looking like a beautiful day as it's just starting to rain, so I haven't really been looking out my window yet, even though I was up at 6:30. So I've done a few things already. But it is actually weather report. Clouds are grey. It is starting to rain, but I've got beautiful red bottle brush flowers glowing their glory out there, a beautiful yellow flower. And what I discovered was Watsonia with orange flowers. I didn't know they were Watsonia. They look lovely. Thank you for being here and sharing your time. Thank you for sharing this around and about to those who are interested in having this type of guidance in the morning. We all like to be who. Look, be who you are to the best of your ability. Sometimes I know we don't like who we are because that's how we're conditioned with marketing and everything else. It really is a FOMO society, fear of missing out on, marketing, all that sort of stuff. Just be you. Be the best you that you can be. I don't think I've got that set up. Let me just pop in the reminder for next weekend. It's only a weekend away. Leanne and I are going to be in Mount Gambier from the 24th and to the 26th. So it's actually the 25th is the main day, which that's the Sunday, isn't it? If you're in that area, you can certainly book in. There's still some slots left, at least on my calendar. So certainly have a look, see what you think, and we might see you there. It'd be lovely if we could see you there. Other than that, have a wonderful day and keep just being the best you and having fun. We've got the child in the day today. We've got wonderful wind stuff. So wind, where it blow, let it go where it may. Namaste. Until tomorrow. Bye for now.